forgot to print my
Silence our phones.
agenda, so let's go.
Oh, we can share.
Just before I left, I
how
spilled a
nice
whole
of
thing
you.
of tea
It
all
is.
over,
Thank
like
you.
all over
Let's
like
mark that one up.
everything
Okay.
you could ever spill
Note
it
to
on.
self,
I
6:28.
know there are enough things in retrograde.
Tim was very
now.
kind.
Get over it, honey. It's not gonna happen
It's in
again.
retrograde, so it should be-
And
I
I feel
don't
like
believe
today
that.
they went the
Oh,
opposite.
Yeah,
Okay, you feel that too?
I felt that way too.
Yeah.
It will be fine.
Good, Heidi's got on her good water
Oh, yeah.
boots too.
Yeah.
These are the best.
Do they just go over your,
No, they're the whole boot, but they are
Wow.
snow and, but they look like you're like me in business, so you're like,
Are they
get out of my
Sorrels?
way. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the best.
What is it bringing?
I've had one pair of Sorrels.
Oh,
We're
okay,
ready?
we're ready.
Okay,
With the
I'll
inserts.
call it to
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. My name is Tim Ritzert, and I am going to call this meeting to order as an ex officio member appointed by council to serve on this committee. The first item of business that we need to take care of is going to be the selection of a chairperson to run this committee going forward. And I know we have an agenda printed for this evening, and I would just like to make sure that we take care of this first, and then I will step aside, and whoever is chosen as chair will take over the meeting at that point in time. So with that, I would like to ask if there is a motion?
Nancy
Yes.
Lehman, I nominate Heidi Lowe as chair of the.
Second.
Oh, you
Okay.
guys are really fast.
So, so we have a motion and we have a second with Denise Emery. Let's call the vote. Everyone in favor of Heidi Lowe serving as chair? Aye. Do we have,
I don't have a vote.
I know, but do we have Barry?
Did Barry come on Zoom?
I never set up Zoom code.
Okay, so is there any way to tell if he's in the live stream?
If he comments,
Pardon?
if he types something in chat.
Okay, so Barry, if you're on live stream, type something in the chat to let us know you're on. There is a delay in that, so we'll wait. I heard
Takes
it's
about a
about a minute.
right.
Yeah. So,
We have
so
some discussion.
Barry, if you're in the live stream, type in something in the chat to announce your vote for the the chairperson.
Well, and the other thing is, I would like to, how long is this? Because I was thinking I would do interim, and then if we find somebody who is really great, we could put them in the position.
We'll talk about that later on, and we have a motion on the floor that's been
They found somebody that's what does it.
I'll just,
Nothing?
Didn't you hear the railroad? Okay, no one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so we have we seem to have a unanimous, well, not a unanimous vote, but we certainly have a majority vote
Majority, yeah.
for Heidi Lowe to serve as chair. And with that, I am going to step aside and resume my duties as ex officio. And thank you very much.
thank you.
Good job, Tim.
Yeah.
What was that?
I say, good job, Tim.
Thank you.
That was,
Efficient.
yes.
Yeah, speaking of which, let's be efficient. Thank you for the vote of confidence, everyone. And I wanted to just say thank you to Cliff and to Tony for their service, and all of that they added and all that they did and brought to the Public Arts Committee. And our minutes, would anyone like to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes.
Call for a second. Any corrections, anything?
I didn't see anything.
There were things that I want to follow up on, but that's not the same thing, right?
Right,
Correct.
right.
And then the other thing is I can't bring up a vote or vote, right?
Correct.
Okay, just to clarify.
I'm not sure that's, I'll read the the
Yeah,
guidelines.
I think typically the chair doesn't, but this committee might be different, and I haven't looked.
And it is different.
You think?
Okay,
And,
so that's something going forward we can talk about, is
Mhm.
looking at that document and then aligning with it
Right.
or voting to change it. Okay, so for right now, I'm good.
Perfect,
right,
perfect.
and, yeah,
So there's a motion and a second, right? So, on the minutes.
on the minutes.
So
there's-
then we do the all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay,
Okay.
excellent. So the minutes are approved as prepared, and that's good.
Second. And then the first discussion is on the bus trip. Carol, do you want to bring us to the current?
Carol, I'll get.
You could just throw it this way.
Here, Carol.
Scooch it down the
Yeah.
table.
Oh, yeah, just slide it over, like right there. Oh,
Inappropriate
Oh.
reference, right?
I didn't realize.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Carol, if you ever want me to print anything at the office, because I'm looking at your packet, please
Yeah.
send it to
And
me.
my printer started running out of ink.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
This
please,
is-
please
we can
send
do
it to
this.
me, and I'll be happy to do that.
And
Same for
probably-
anybody.
And I would have done this as an attachment, except I think these are really discussion items.
Yes.
And first of all, we needed to, decide on a transportation company. And I, was in touch with, I think it was 6 of them.
Wow.
And, decided on ADJOURNMENT, which is in Milford, and,
oh, okay.
The bus.
they require a $250 down payment, and then, the final payment is, 2 weeks before the trip. And that, amount is, right here, I've got too many papers. Get rid of the,
Is that the top final
get
payment
rid of
due?
the minutes.
That's interesting.
Want me to go over this bill?
$2,298.
Yes, $2,298,
I'll start taking
and,
notes.
that's for 40 people. Now, at our last meeting, I said I was gonna be calling, Greystone the next day, and to make the reservations. And, when I spoke to the woman there, I asked for 30 tickets, and she said, you might as well, they'll take up to 40 in a group, and we might as well get 40 reservations, because we might get more people.
Okay,
And as that turned out, for the buses, we're better off with 40 than 30, because almost all the buses are either like 12 or 50, so, passengers. And, I was amazed at one place, they're not doing coaches anymore, they're only doing school buses. I don't think.
No.
really?
As I recall, somebody needed to have a restroom.
Right,
Yes.
We all do.
I'll pass.
I'm not saying any names.
I'll pass this around so you were supposed to say it. So if we have 40 people at that price, the payment per person comes to, in round figures, $60.
That's great.
The next thing is the location for departure. I was thinking the library parking lot would be a good place. I guess I need to talk to somebody at the library before we take
Right.
over their parking lot. But, the other alternative might be right here.
In this parking lot
And
here.
people can park or whatever.
Okay.
Um, So I can
Could also
send
use
the down payment in this week,
Parking.
so we secure the bus.
And do you think that we should add money to this in case we don't have all 40 people sign up? What if we have 30 people sign up?
We have to do a good job.
I mean, I agree. And I think we can. I don't think it will be a problem, but,
I think we can get,
Um, Now, the next thing I have down here is that we had some organizations batted around the last time. You wanna send me your suggestions, or do you wanna talk about it now?
organization?
Well, like Lewis and Bloom or Art and Bloom.
Oh, extending an invitation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Just a notice to them that we're doing this.
there's something called Sussex Gardeners. Now, I don't know how much
Definitely.
of the garden there, but it's a,
Yeah, so you want a list of organizations to email?
If you wanna send me suggestions of organizations that should get a notice about this before we do a press release.
May I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Are there any other towns in this region, close by, thinking of, that have a similar initiative as what you all represent?
Milton
Milton.
just started there, so they would probably be right on board.
And that's just an idea that you might
What is this,
consider?
Milton's what?
So Milton just started they actually called me and they asked, how do we start doing something like this? And I was like, well, this is how we do it. Good luck. And so they did. They got, I think your friend was I'm not sure the artist, yeah.
well, Milton has a garden club too and has for
Yeah.
many years, so I think Bethany Beach does too,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
But we need to expand beyond garden groups.
Right, but
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think there's a group in Milton that's encouraging the arts, so I could reach out to the person who got in touch with me and then even,
Just let me know.
yeah.
isn't there an art group in Millsboro and another in Milford too?
And I'm sure there's the Rehoboth Art League.
Yeah,
so would it be first come, first serve?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
And then when we get 60 people, we'd cut it
Yeah.
off, yeah.
I personally think we should say that in the press release too,
Mm-hmm.
that space is limited and,
Definitely.
Right, the
So-
Alliance for Social Justice is having a trip to Washington, I think the week before, to the African American Museum.
Nice.
And there's another, I contacted somebody about what bus company they used, I didn't hear back though. But, I think they would, we could notify them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking the League of Women Voters, it's another
Mhm.
group.
What about,
The AAUW,
that's what I was thinking of,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is
Um,
that acronym, please?
American Association of University Women.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I
yes.
spoke at that group and they
Yeah.
all seemed very,
Yeah,
excited to do things.
how about Rehoboth Art League?
Yeah, I definitely think Rehoboth Art League.
I think we could, if we had a poster or send an announcement to the Lewis Senior Center, Rehoboth Senior Center,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a stamp is cheap.
And I think we should do Developing Artists Collaborative too, and reach, a group that might not go normally, but maybe they would.
Is that a group, Heidi?
Developing Artists Collaborative is a group
That's you?
I'm on the board.
Thank
And they're
you.
great. They're in Rehoboth. They are a lot of young people who are trying to bring their work from,
Oh,
hobbyist or amateur to professional.
Oh.
And there are many professionals in it also, but their art, they do the West Side.
Well, I'd like to get these mailed out by the end of next week.
Yeah.
So the sooner you can get these to me, the better.
Okay.
And I had started trying to write a press release, but one of the things we need obviously is a deadline for the payment and that their reservation is not secured until we get their money.
And how are we paying? Is there a button?
Unmarked bills, I would suggest.
Do we have a button for that?
On the website?
No.
No. So,
Could we
And-
do it through our website?
you
It's-
could.
It's not set up for that now.
I know,
Which
we'd
reminds
have
me,
to-
We have to.
I wonder if you
Yeah.
can reserve
I
with the idea that you
have
have to have a check
kinda
in
spaced
the
on
mail.
Me
Right,
too.
right.
It's like-
So a couple of things. We only have 40 seats, so there obviously has to be a cutoff. And if people don't get their check in,
Yeah,
then they don't go, right? Because we need to be able to pay the bus. But they'd have to either pay by check, mail a check in to City Hall with a note, pack bus trip, or come into City Hall and pay by credit card, again with the note, pack bus trip.
And
I
get a
would
receipt at
and
that
get a
time.
receipt. And I would let the ladies that work the counter, and I say ladies because they are all ladies, there's no men that work the counter, that give them instruction on how to manage this. It gets set into an account, and then that we'd pay the bus with that.
Right.
And when they get the money, we need, contact information
Yes.
about who this is.
Right.
So I can get to them with information of how to proceed on the day of the trip.
Right.
I would,
And-
oh,
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
What I can do is keep a spreadsheet, and we'll have all of the information, and then on the day of the event, just check,
Right.
and that'll be easy.
Carol,
can
may I
get
make a
emails
suggestion to
to-
capture that kind of information? Is if you could create consider putting a form on in effect, an application that would
On the
accompany the
website?
check, and with
Mm.
name, phone number, email, and a cell phone number is really important in case we need to do texting. That would be very, very helpful. The critical contact information.
Yeah,
of
that's an excellent point. Yeah, and then they just submit the form with their check,
their
or
check.
come into City Hall and pay by credit card. They can put their credit card on the form if they want.
And
so,
then it's easily added to the spreadsheet that Janet is going to manage.
okay, so I have a question. So can they pay any other way but at City Hall by mail or in person?
So we can take a credit card over the phone,
Or if it's written down?
or if it's written down. So the form that's gonna go on the website should have a place for credit card information. And Carol, I can work with you on that, because all of my forms for permitting have that information.
Because there is a thing called a jot form. Have you used those? And they're super easy
Oh
online.
no, are you gonna get technical?
Okay, never
on
mind.
me? Yeah.
Okay, super easy, but no.
All right, if they're super
Right.
easy, I'll give it a try, and then I'll have a fallback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What's it called?
it's called jot form, JOT form, and you literally, it's like, put your name, put your phone number, put your email, and then it's like, do you want to pay? And it will put all their information.
and
So is that something that you can put on the PAC website?
I think so, or we could have like a link to it on the city website.
right.
Oh.
City,
And what I will remind you is that some folks who might not be as possibly
Savvy.
computer
Mhm.
literate
Right.
as you, or that comfortable with that, might prefer to use a
Yeah.
credit card or a check.
absolutely.
Just
So,
another option.
Yeah, it's just another option. And it should be about options.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So in the notice to these organizations and in the press release for the newspaper,
right.
we're just gonna tell people interested in registering to go to the website. They can register on the website.
On the public art
Yeah.
website.
And you would provide the link in the, whatever you write up, that link would be embedded in your message. And I would think that you might also, Carol, think about, and Heidi, you all are you're connected to this art community. I would think that there's possibility that you'll be able to send this message out electronically rather than putting it in the US mail and, get the word out that way. Is that, I mean, don't the organizations that you're affiliated with maintain a,
Email list?
yeah,
Yes.
right.
Mhm.
We could also put it up on the city website
Sure.
as well.
Oh, for
As it
sure.
should be.
Yeah,
That's
so,
a great idea.
yeah, once you get it, I'll put it up on the, well, actually, Blue will put it up on the website for us.
Okay.
So we're-
And,
How
Lots
you
of ideas here.
next here is compose a press release, which is essentially this thing that we've been talking about. And send the notice to the press. How far in advance can we do that?
What is the date of the trip?
I would do a save the date and then do one 2 weeks before. So do like, hey, this is coming, get your tickets, and then if we need to, do one 2 weeks before.
Well, I think our deadline should be a month before the trip.
Okay, then do it 2 weeks
Like
before.
March 15th,
Mhm.
the Ides of March. And,
And because the trip date itself is the middle of April, right?
it's April 13th.
Right, okay.
So that's the due date for registering. And then if we don't have 40 people, then we go scrounge around and find more people.
Right,
The next thing I had down here is who will receive the reservations of payment. We've talked about that. And a confirmation to the people who've registered. The final payment from us is 2 weeks before the trip.
right.
And then I think we need to send out reminders to the people to make sure they're gonna show up.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
people forget a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that,
And I added this today, we need to evaluate this
Yes.
when we're finished.
Yeah.
And I think we make sure that we get pictures taken as we're going. They don't allow pictures in the museum, but they do outside, and I think that can go on our website.
Sure.
then
Mhm.
Absolutely.
For the future.
absolutely.
I have something for that. What about inviting a DAC photographer to come with us and make that their job?
Sure.
They are photographers, but that would really,
Oh, this is a developing arts person.
developing arts collaborative.
Oh, sure, great idea.
I mean, that'd be kind of a nice way to say, hey, we're giving you this seat, come see the show, and then they can take pictures throughout, and they would be, then we would get the pictures.
And
go
we
either
could
way.
submit some after to the Cape Gazette
Yeah,
and get a little PR.
Absolutely.
That's a great idea.
I will
Uh,
see if I can find a person who,
Okay.
And Heidi, may I just back up
Uh-huh.
with a follow-up question? I think you're suggesting that photographer would provide the services, and the services would be he or she would not pay for transportation. So we'll have to figure that cost back into whatever cost you are assessing each rider. So,
and I mean, I'll have to do a little bartering, because this is, it's not a
sure,
normal fee. They would have to want to go anyway, so
Mhm.
we'll
Right.
see if we can do that.
okay.
Okay, the next page just summarizes what we can tell who we're talking to about this. It's in Potomac, Maryland. It's on Thursday, April 13th. We're gonna have 40 people leaving at 8 a.m. I said the Lewis Library parking lot, but that may be different. And we're gonna go in a 56-passenger motor coach, costing $60 a person. Then it takes about 2¼ hours to get up there, and they open at 10. So then we'll stay till 2:30 and get the trip back and arrive back here about 5:00.
May I ask you a question, Carol?
Sure.
Will there be, are there facilities in the museum for lunch?
Yes, there's the cafe. That's on the next page.
Oh, excuse me.
This is information about Greystone. Now, I was on YouTube this morning looking at all the different coverage they have of it. The best one is CBS Sunday Morning 4 years ago did a trip to Greystone, the art museum built in nature.
Glenstone,
Huh?
not Gray, it's got Gray, it's Glenstone,
Glenn.
Glenstone.
Glenstone,
Is it Glenstone or Greystone?
Glenstone.
Glenstone. It says Greystone here at the top.
Okay.
It's Glenstone.
I think there is a Greystone museum somewhere.
It's a good I have a proofreader here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, they describe it as assembling post-World War II artworks of highest quality and the way we experience and understand art of the 20th and 21st century. It is very modern.
It is.
I think people need to understand that. Also, it looks to me like it's a lot of walking.
Yep.
That's another thing. They do have, they don't give guided tours, but they have guides at strategic locations throughout. One thing is that if it rains, at least they have a museum that it can be indoors for that part of it. They do have a cafe available for dining, and I checked their accessibility. They have complimentary wheelchairs and gallery chairs available on request. And there's a cart that goes from the entry to the gallery in the pavilions. There's not a lot of benches or anything around for people to sit on in that outdoor area. They do have, stable pathways, but recommend comfortable and durable footwear for walking on the path.
Huh.
So that's about it. So
Good
I
work,
will
Carol.
send
Yeah.
them- I will send them a
Very
check
comprehensive.
this week for the $250 to hold the bus.
Thank you.
We have the tickets reserved, and Cliff also forwarded to me a note from a woman at Glenstone. It was sort of like a newsletter, so I asked to be put on the mailing list for this, so we'll have that we can share with people.
I think it would be neat if in the press release there was a way to mention the CBS morning thing, cause if people, if-
That's what I said.
oh, okay, I missed that, cause I think if people say, oh, what's that? It would be helpful for them.
Oh, to put the link in the press release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, this is great.
Good work, Carol.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so the maximum people we can have is 56.
No, 40.
We have 40 reservations. They take groups of 10 to 40 at the museum. And
Oh,
so
okay.
we have tickets for 40 people.
Okay, so the bus holds 56, but we can only
Yeah,
have
plenty
40.
of room to move around on the
Mhm.
bus.
Got it.
Okay, great.
Right.
Oh, we'll get 40 people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
I don't think that
We
would
can have
be
a
too
wine
much.
and
No, I
cheese
think
party.
it'll be
with
There you
that.
go. There you
Just-
go.
And I'll
Just
talk
drive
with
friends
Shannon
along.
about how we're working all this money.
Yeah, we'll get together on that. We'll take care of that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so.
That was great.
You're
Good
fine.
work.
Good job.
Yes, that's
Thank you.
fabulous. And now, so, everybody else have anything to say about the bus tour? Do you need, so you're gonna, will you send an email out asking us for recommendations for the list?
Sure.
Only because my life goes real fast and I will do it then.
And I'll give you a deadline.
I love you. I'm just trying to, plug the holes. This is great. Calendars. Oh, and the other one thing I do have to add, are there any calendars that we could add it to? I'll look for those too. Calendars. And Eventbrite is a good one. I can stick it on there. Okay, anybody else on the bus tour?
On the city calendar? We can put it on the city calendar.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just so if anybody's perusing on that,
Yeah.
they can see it.
They're just,
Yeah. 'Cause
navigating.
I have nothing else to do. I'm gonna go look on the City of Lewis website.
But that's a great idea,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Provide all the
I go
details.
look at the city website, yeah.
We'll do that Friday. Okay. I notice how I say we, but it's really blue.
Yeah. We'll have to have that. And so is there, any way to get to Barry?
So there is not, unless, I'm gonna try again, unless he's in the YouTube and he types a chat in to let us know that he's on.
So maybe Barry could send us all like the update, and then we will of course not respond.
He did send an email,
He sent one little thing saying,
diagram of,
The dimensions,
Yeah.
he sent that out.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I just don't
Did that come
know.
out
I
today?
don't have my phone. So, I could-
He did send something out today, but he also sent something out before,
Before
but this
that.
was today.
Today.
But it wasn't that much information,
I
right?
didn't get it.
Is
Think
that
of
whatever,
what
I
he
didn't get a lot of it.
Sent- Told
There
me he
was a
sent.
spec sheet attached to
Right,
it,
that's what I
but my
thought.
phone is at home,
Right.
and my phone is,
So I do have a
Good
little
advice.
bit of an update on the grant application.
Oh, great.
So, I asked Barry to get more details of the project for me so that I could include that in the grant application. So the grant application was due on January 15th. It was submitted on January 10th, and it was approved on January 11th,
Wow.
for the amount of $7,500,
Nice.
Excellent.
which is half of the cost of the project.
excellent.
Or the piece,
Yeah.
right? So, it's a Delaware Division of the Arts grant, DDOA for short. And they do have very specific grant requirements, which I did print off, one copy, but I can make copies for everybody, or I can send it to you, in an email. But we are required to post on the Delaware art scene. I'm sure you're familiar with that. And since we're starting this in May, we have to post by March 15th. So if I can get more photos or something that we can post on that, but I can write something up on what the project is, where it will be located, when it starts, when it ends. I can send it to you for,
Yep.
approval, and I'll get that posted by the 15th.
That'd be great.
And that's a description of the project? Is that what this is?
Yeah, because the only thing I have is this rendering,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I think I would just do a description of it, kind of what I wrote in the grant.
And I would do the rendering.
You
I
would?
I would
Okay.
put that up because, I mean, it's, like, you can say rendering
Right.
of, but I think that gets people excited and they would want an image.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was a
Because-
rendering and a different piece,
Right.
like not to be seen, but
And I
Just-
did say in the grant application that it is being fabricated specifically for this site at Canal Front Park in Lewis.
Yeah.
So I think what I'll do is just cut and paste what I wrote in the grant, and
Yeah,
I'll send
great.
it to everybody for,
Tim, I'll bump you his email if you'd like, so you can see the specs that he sent out.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I thought, okay, so then, excuse me, other requirements are, of course, giving DDOA recognition for their support of this project, and using their logo, the Delaware Division of the Arts. So I thought that we could get something up on the PAC webpage, and I could put something on the Parks and Rec Facebook page, because that kind of gets a whole different group.
And we can put it on the PAC Facebook page at all.
Okay.
Also.
The
when
web
I
page
take
and the
that over.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
we
Okay.
should just say thank you and then put it.
Yeah,
And
that would be
also-
wonderful.
We can put it on the signage that we make,
That was the other thing I thought, yes. That,
Mhm. I think it
so,
has to be on the signage.
Um,
Mhm.
Yeah, so the logos can be downloaded from the division's website, so when I send this out, because you're probably gonna do the signage again?
Yes.
Okay. So
And
I will
all the press release and everything, it always, like, they're very serious.
Perfect.
So it always
Okay.
has to be everywhere where we talk about this piece,
Right,
basically.
right.
Mhm.
Right,
So we got it.
We got it.
So if, I'm talking to Tori tomorrow about what happened here, I should say that.
You can, I have the award, yeah.
Okay.
And I can print the copy of the award and send that to you as well.
Okay, great.
I don't know when the money will come in, but we've
We
been
were
awarded. And then, of course, the final requirement is the final report, and that was not uploaded yet to the website. I emailed Kristen just to see if she could, Kristen Pleasanton from DDOA, to see if she could give me an idea of when it would be up and when the deadline is, because I don't want to miss any deadlines.
No,
What is the final report? Do you all know what that is?
So-
Oh, you do, okay.
So we just have to, like when I do the concerts in the park, I have to write a summary of, you know, the genres that played, how many participants we had, how many adults, how many children,
I see.
you know.
if it was
and-
ADA, if,
Right,
what
Right.
So it's an
diversity's
end- a
there.
Summary.
exactly,
It's a
yeah,
summary
so
at the end of the
it'll
season.
just, so
Okay.
I don't know how we're really going to be able to count, you know, the
Right.
people that experienced it, but it's something that, because we now have this grant, we're probably gonna have to think about a little bit
We
more.
could
as
put one of those hunting videos up and then we could just see.
a,
over the time,
a,
you know,
what do they
up
call
on a
them, a deer
tree.
camera or
Yeah,
something?
deer
Yeah,
camera.
I
wildlife
like
camera.
that.
Trail cam.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll be able to know who, otherwise
And
that
then
is
somebody
surveillance
can go through
problem.
and count all the people.
Yes.
Right.
So,
And if the counts are low, we'll just disguise ourselves and run.
Yes. So a way to count the people who see it.
right,
Interesting.
all right.
Do you have a way to see who comes to Canal Front Park or like,
Well, through the Overfalls has
Security.
security cameras. We have talked about
there we go.
putting them in Canal Front Park as well. We just haven't done that yet, but they also have the webcam.
Okay, well,
But-
maybe we could make an estimate, you know,
Yeah.
like a week or something and then estimate it.
Right, right.
Okay.
Okay, so
Do they
it's-
require a public comment, part of their, you know, grant? In other words, where people would make comments about how they react to the art? Do you all do that? Is that done in the art
We do
world?
try, when people,
We tried to
email
do it.
us or we get feedback, each of us, we kind of tell each other and then we also, you know, it just helps us informed as we
Sure.
go forward, but not, I guess, officially.
But that's not a requirement of the Department of Art people?
I think just that form is the.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so anything
Do you
else
want this?
about
No.
the DeWitt sculpture, and
he's
we'll
trying to
touch
avoid
base with
Yeah,
Barry.
no, that's fine.
And the other
We
thing
don't
that I
copy
wanted to
on email
do,
anyway.
next, if everybody's in favor, not tonight, but I would like to make either our next meeting or another time to have a brainstorming session about how we would like to go forward. And like throw everything in the pot, like art on the fence, art on the wall, local art, what we want, what buckets we wanna fill, like, okay, we'd like to do, you know, the sculpture, we like a mural, we like local art, how do we engage people? I think we just need to throw.
It's a
And,
great idea.
Just brainstorm.
and brainstorm and say no to nothing and really like, and even, you know, hopefully we can maybe get some public participation and it's not about saying yes or no, it's really just about like, who's been where and what has been cool wherever you've
Mhm.
been and what new ideas do you have? And I'd like to do that when we have the 2 new members, because then we get their
Mhm.
ideas too. We met with Heidi Nostrom Evans today and she'll
Another
have.
Heidi?
Another
Heidi,
Heidi.
amazing.
I've
No,
never
it
had
wasn't.
another Heidi on anything.
Wow.
So she's now writing Heidi too. I was like, but
And you're capital H and she's small h, I think.
no, I think I'm
you're the
sure,
small H, okay.
I usually am small H. Oh, sorry, people. I know, very strange. And then, so when we get everybody, that would be, I think, a really fun way to start moving forward. You know, have the bus trip going, have the sculpture going, but really just open it up and have fun with how we think about it. And then we can take that and decide what's really important. You know, and I know that we can't do bazillion things, but at least we could have a direction for it.
I think
Yeah.
that's
And then the other thing
Mm-hmm.
is the bylaws or our little statement we need to read over and then make comments on and adjust. So those are my two things. Okay, so I think, we're done. Is everybody good?
Can I just ask, what's
Oh,
the
yeah.
date of the next meeting? Is it the 20?
Oh, I have a problem with that.
You have a problem with it? Yeah, I'm gonna be in Rhode Island, I think.
Well,
Oh,
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
look for that.
be, in Sun Valley,
Ooh.
which is,
Ooh.
I know, with my
What?
whole
Also in
family.
Providence, yeah, no, that's good.
Wait a minute, what about Sun Valley? What was this?
The
I'm-
next meeting
the
will
next-
be,
So maybe I was thinking we could have a slightly longer meeting and do the brainstorming session in February, but maybe not that day.
so I just got some texts from Barry. He was trying to log on two different ways, one from the link on the agenda, and that's crossed out. And then, it says waiting for host to start, and then nothing, he just said nothing's worked so far.
Okay.
For the record, I vote for Heidi to be chair.
Okay.
Thanks,
Um,
Barry.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's a unanimous vote
Yeah.
now, don't you all?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so the, February meeting would be the 22nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I could do the 15th, or I could do March 1st, if anybody else
The
can.
I could do the 15th or the 1st, but.
But I don't know what the city.
Oh, wait, the
Providence on
15th is
22nd.
the planning commission. Do they meet in council chambers?
Here.
They meet here, that's what I thought, okay. All right, so the 20, so we can't do the 15th. We could, I believe, do the 1st. Actually, there's five Wednesdays in March. You could meet twice in March.
Yeah, well,
And we could do-
I would think we kind of would meet our normal time, but we would meet March 1st just to do the workshopping slash,
So you're thinking of a workshop in a special meeting kind of thing, is that right?
well, I don't know what the official rules for that are, but I was just thinking, yes.
Yeah.
Some type of a little bit longer meeting where we're kind of, maybe have some paper on the wall and we do some,
That's a
And it's
workshop.
That's a
not-
workshop.
That's a
it's
workshop,
not being
Heidi.
Yeah.
broadcast.
So-
Oh, I think it has to be broadcast, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
and
all right.
it's a public, it
know.
would be a public forum, but that's a great idea, and that would be, what you've described would be a
Okay,
workshop.
yes,
And
that's-
that's completely allowable, and it's a good practice.
Yeah, I think that would be fun, and I think it would be fun if we could get people from the community to come and
Well-
add their 2 cents.
We had real success, because I was doing the social media for the Preserve Our Park Coalition.
Oh, yes, oh,
And we had 1,000 people show up at the high school with about 3 weeks of
That's-
between that one website and I Love Lewis Facebook
Yeah.
page.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So I think we could get I think we could get people out if we're asking them to come and give us their ideas.
Well, and if that's the case, I
Yeah.
think we should take a half hour, 45 minutes and do our own, and
Right,
then
and-
invite them,
And say the public input will start at such
Yeah.
and such a time.
because that sounds overwhelming.
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I think-
Or the other
We
way,
don't
like
need to
they
have
come,
1,000 people.
yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to,
No.
because we can tell our
Right.
crowds are amazing.
Yeah.
So
We're the
do
most
you,
fun
do you
committee.
want
Yeah.
to start the workshop at the same time that we start the public art?
That's up to
Committee
everyone.
meetings. Because just for information, when we've done workshops for like the tree subcommittee for the Great Marsh Park Master Plan, and we've done them a little bit earlier.
I think that'd be nice.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what I would need to know is what everybody's availability is time-wise, how early they could start, how long you want the workshop to run. And then, I don't need that now. What I can do is just, I can send out an email to everybody, here's what I need to know to set up the workshop, and
Well, does anybody have any input on that? Like March 1st would work
Do
for
we
you?
have it
Would
here?
work for
And
me.
could we
I think
do like
we're
an
gonna do that
afternoon?
March 1st.
It's a Wednesday, March 1st.
The
Sorry, next
afternoon
meeting
would
would
work
be
for
March
me.
The afternoon,
The
maybe?
Afternoon.
workshop
better.
would be March 1st, and then the next
Like 3 to
regular
4, 3 to
meeting
5?
would be March 22nd.
3 to 5.
So
Yeah.
we're canceling the
February
February
meeting.
22nd regular meeting.
Okay.
Is
Well,
everybody
thank you very
okay with
much.
that? And do March 1st, like 2 to 5, or 3 to 5?
Sure.
Does that work with the city calendar?
3 to 5?
Mhm.
I don't think there's any regular scheduled meetings on the first Wednesday of the month, so I'm going to verify that
Okay.
tomorrow,
Cool.
and I will send everybody an email.
Okay, great.
I will cancel the 12/22. Check,
Thank you.
3/1, and you said 3 to 5?
3 to 5?
Okay. 3 PM to 5 PM, and then we'll just, work on
Agenda.
a jazzy little something to stick on the website
Okay.
and,
Right.
and on the agenda
And our regular meeting would be the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
of March.
Yes.
Right,
At 6:30 again, and those,
Mhm.
both the workshop and the regular
Right.
meeting would be held in this space here, correct?
I was thinking that.
Yes.
Okay, well, I think
So
we're,
no meeting
No,
in February.
yes, no meeting in February, we're gonna do 2 in
March 1st
March.
and then March 22nd.
yeah,
Great.
it's
Okay.
BPW, and it was,
Yeah.
we were moving certain meetings
like this
over
idea.
here because of size and, yeah.
Do we
Yeah,
like this
it's the
meeting?
BPW.
Yeah.
No,
When do our new members get appointed?
I was going to speak to that. May I, as your ex officio? You can expect that during our next mayor and council meeting in February, that those appointments will most likely be made. Okay?
And I have a question about the Wednesday meeting. Is anybody interested in making it earlier?
Making what?
The Wednesday monthly meeting a little bit earlier in the night. Do you like this timing?
Instead of
This is
6:30.
No.
late for me. I'd love to do it earlier.
Earlier would personally,
Doesn't matter.
yeah, I can do anything.
Can we do a little earlier?
What are you thinking?
Like, I was thinking like 5:30.
5:30 would be great.
I don't
5:30 to
see why not.
6:30?
Yeah,
How does everybody feel about that?
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
that'd be great.
Okay.
And then that
so-
way we
Okay.
could be home for like, you
Or
know,
we'll go
dinner.
out.
So starting
Okay.
on the 22nd, it will be at 5:30.
Yeah,
Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
okay.
March 22nd, not February 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
March 20,
okay.
5:30. Okay, I'll be rolling in hot, but I think it'll be better.
That's okay.
There's that weird hour where I'm like, I don't know what's happening, where I just spill my tea. So, okay, well, we got all kinds of changes around this joint. PAC meetings are now at 5:30 on the 4th Wednesday. And, okay, I think, anybody else have anything to say?
Our website, the membership needs to be changed.
Yeah, I need to catch up with Cliff on that.
Yeah,
and take
we need to
it
have a,
over. Yeah,
we need to take it over and then,
Right.
which I should have done this month, but it just
I
got away
didn't
from
get to
me,
either.
as things do.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Okay, motion to
So
adjourn.
moved.
All in favor?
Yep. Excellent.
Okay. All right.